How's it going, everybody? I am Artorigold, and I am here with my good friend Clad 2, and we are going to talk about the Gundam Evolution Developer Blog Volume 3. How's it going, Clad?
Wow, going well. Some exciting stuff in this.
I gotta be honest, Overwatch 2 just dropped recently, and I've been playing, both of us have been playing the beta, and I'm
Quite a bit.
here wanting to talk about Gundam instead. I mean,
Hmm.
that really just says everything. Gundam Evolution, I am so excited for this game to come out. It's everything I want in a shooting game. It really is. And right now, this developer blog pretty much was talking about balancing, which is something that we've been talking amongst friends for a long time, things that we want to see nerfed and buffed. And it looks like they nailed a lot of it on the head. Pretty much everything in here, it's fantastic. So let's go ahead and get through it. So here we have the very beginning. We do have a survey that we can go through in a different video, which is also pretty exciting stuff. But in here, they are talking about Gundam Barbatos. And as everybody, I think, can agree, way too overpowered, way too
Yeah.
broken. And what's
Well,
great about this,
maybe if
they
you're not an
recognize it.
armchair lawyer and Reddit.
Yeah, yeah. There are some people who think that Barbatos isn't overpowered, and I feel like those people haven't experienced what we experienced playing at 2300 rating. Because I promise you, the people who played Barbatos to the full extent, they were playing on God mode. They were playing on
I
cheat
mean,
mode.
I was with you guys 2300 with 30-40% play rate with Barbados. And I think that puts me in a fair enough perspective to say he's really, really strong. Very, very
Insanely
overpowered
strong.
right now.
And here in this developer blog, we have the stats to prove that it was. Here in the developer blog, it even says, whereas let's see, it says right here, the unit had the highest winning percentage. Although it was a slight difference, the unit had the highest winning percentage. They say so themselves, stats don't lie. This Gundam had the highest winning percentage.
Unproportionally high.
You can say everything you want. Oh, maybe the skill ceiling of the players isn't quite there yet. This is just the facts. It still was the highest winning. You can't deny that. There is a reason why it's the highest winning percentage, right? And in here, they give a couple of examples, right? The examples in the blog are that their Turn A Gundam and Marisai were not working as intended because they were supposed to be the counters to Barbatos. And if you've seen my tier list video, which you should if you haven't, Marisai and Turn A are very low and very weak. And that's one of the reasons why Barbatos was probably going just crazy. There was no counters in place for him, or at least ones that weren't strong enough.
I think it's also important to mention in the parentheses there that the second and third highest winning percentage was Sazabi and Pale Rider, but they specify that it's only 0.5% as
Yeah.
opposed to they don't even mention it because it's probably so dang higher than the second place that they're probably like, we probably shouldn't mention it, but we're acknowledging it's a lot.
I think just the fact that Sazabi is in the second place just proves my tier list again, where we put Sazabi at the very top,
Mhm.
just right behind Barbatos. That character also feels quite powerful. The only reason why I didn't complain so much about Sazabi, because I do think Sazabi there's a lot of room to complain about him with his shield and his tankiness. But the thing is Barbatos was pretty much just the hard counter to Sazabi, right? Like if you play Barbatos or had a player playing that character, you could take quick work out of Sazabi to where he wasn't as much of an issue. It wasn't until you played games without a Barbatos and there was a Sazabi on the enemy team where you would start to feel just how powerful Sazabi was. Sazabi
Yeah.
was really good and everybody could identify that. It's just he was kind of put in check a little bit, which is exactly what they're kind of talking about here with Marisai and Turn A. Those were Gundams that were extremely weak, but they were supposed to put Barbatos in check. So it was kind of paper, rock, scissors, right?
Hmm.
And that clearly wasn't the case. So here, of course, We know that they understand this issue. They are trying to work with this. They are adjusting things. See down here, they plan to balance the range of the attacks, trying to make it maybe not have so much of a large AoE or hitbox, because I know that his mace, his right click, and the F ability, the slam, had a very big AoE effect. You could actually hit like fairly
Hmm.
easily, even when it looked like it wouldn't. So hopefully they're adjusting that. And they're also adding adjustments to the speed of the dash. So hopefully this character is going to be a lot harder to play, or at least just a lot less broken. It sounds like they're not changing the damage. That's something very, very noticeable here. They're talking about range and speed. They're not
Hmm.
mentioning damage. This character most likely is still going to be able to one-shot anybody. So you're going to
They
have to deal with that.
probably really wanted to make him even easier to hit on top of the buffs to turn A and Marisai. They probably wanted to make him even slower so he's easier to get hit by those abilities.
That's true. That is something we're going to go into, the abilities they are working on to make the counters. I do think that if you buff turn A and Marisai, Barbatos wouldn't be as much of an issue, but you're going to have to do some crazy buffs, right? Because Barbatos
Hmm.
unchecked is one-shotting people. A turn A Gundam unchecked, he's there. Like he's not one-shotting people, that's the difference, right?
But Butterfly is pretty powerful though.
Yeah, but that's an ultimate. Barbatos one-shots you with a 4-second cooldown on his right
Yeah,
click.
yeah,
Like, it's an
and then he
entirely
just
different
jumps
world.
away.
And then just jumps away. So that's the kind of thing I'm talking about, right? You just can't you
Hmm.
can't compare the two. If you tried to add counters to it, that's fine and dandy, but you can't expect everybody to play those counters when you need it, right? Like there's a enemy
Hmm.
Pharah in the sky, you need a hit scan, but you're on support. What are you gonna do about that? Yeah, you
Yep.
just have to pray your teammate swaps, right? So, anyways, Barbatos, I am glad he is getting nerfed. However, if the damage stays the same, I think he's still going to be a little bit broken. So, that's my take on that. Let's move on to the other news. So, here we have Turn A Gundam. This was a character I ended up really enjoying a lot, and I played a ton of it near the last day. And the only reason I enjoyed playing Turn A was because he survived Barbatos. That was the whole point, right? You survive it with your Judo Throw. But still, it was just not a very good character, and I felt like it wasn't quite worth it. I enjoyed making Barbatos players miserable by Judo Throwing them. But at the end of the day, you Judo Throw, you survive the Barbatos because you have your huge damage reduction, and you just throw him through the right click. But it didn't matter because at the end of the throw, you actually don't do enough damage to kill him. So you do all that for nothing. And then if you miss your Judo Throw, it's so punishing because you're stun locked in an animation. It's very easy for him to either just run away or just kill you, right? You just don't do
Yeah.
damage on turn A. So I am very excited about some of these buffs. First off, they are improving the bullet speed. This is something that I actually complained about in my tier list video as well. Your fully charged shots, they're like a projectile, so they're pretty weird to aim. Increasing the speed of it is going to make it feel a lot better because I love the charge shot in theory, but it was really difficult, kind of weird to aim. And we're going to see a little video here. They are improving the judo throw, right? So let's go ahead and watch this. It's so minor. I don't know if you'll be able to catch it, by the way. All right. It's an improvement.
Yeah, it's
You have to really pause it.
milliseconds,
You have to really pause it to see the
but
difference, right?
milliseconds do matter.
Yeah, it
Like
matters.
at the higher end of
It
things.
definitely matters. You can tell it's just a few frames quicker.
It doesn't really seem like it's going to have I feel like it might be the fact that they slowed Barbados down and they just didn't want turn A to be they didn't want to like give him too much of a buff on top of nerfing Barbados.
Yeah, they're trying to do very minor changes to both of them rather than doing major changes. They're trying to trial and error, just go inching forward just a little bit. They're not going to go dive right in and try to make a huge gap. They're just trying to inch it both sides a little bit closer, which I do appreciate. I do appreciate that. Another, thing they're doing here, they're making it a little easier to control the ult, which is fine. His ult was already good before. This just helps it a little bit.
Hmm.
But ultimately, the thing that I'm most excited about this is honestly the beam rifle change because his main gun just is really hard to really. It does so little damage, and it's sad because like it takes 2 bullets each charged shot, which I really hate because if you do fully charged shots every time, you only have 5 shots before you reload. And if you played that character, the reload is actually one of the longest. Like it's awful. It's an awful reload. So yeah, hopefully Turn A is a little bit better. I'm still gonna play this hero. I think it's actually one of my go-to heroes right now. I really wish that this helps him a little bit more, but we'll see. We'll see. This is a step in the right direction, right? Um, Next up, Marisai. This hero is by far my pick as the worst hero in the game.
Worst. The
Absolute worst.
worst.
And they only really did one thing, and that was adjust his hook, which we all complained about. It's so easy to dodge. 3
Hmm.
characters can block it, other characters can stun you during it. It's just so hard to hit this ability. Let's go ahead and watch this video right here. I was watching it earlier. Very
Now that
noticeable.
is a noticeable difference.
Very fast.
That is
That looks
so
good.
much better.
Now, is this going to take this character from the bottom? It's going to make him better, but is it going to take him all the way from the bottom? Because everything else in his kit still felt lacking to me.
Yeah, because it really just feels like it pulls him closer to Barbatos and pulls Barbatos down a little bit and him up. But it doesn't really seem like it makes him a better character.
Hmm.
Just seems like it really brings him closer to Barbados.
Yeah, it just closes the gaps a little bit, but I still think this character might be really bad.
It's gonna be tough in the middle of battles with people flying around and stuff. It really
Yeah.
does seem like it's a kind of a reservation kind of using ability. Whereas Roadhog is like, oh, I can just initiate. I can just grab somebody, pull them from because I just catch them out of position right behind the shield. I grab them, pull them, my team kill them.
Hmm.
Whereas this seems more like a, all right, I'm shooting, I'm shooting. Oh, I can catch somebody.
I think they
It seems
should
a little
have
bit more
made
slower pace with it.
they should have also done this. They should have enhanced the speed on his E ability too, because his E also has kind of a crazy delay to it. And if his E was a little bit quicker, I think that might really help this character out.
Yeah,
I understand the reasoning because they were talking about they want his gun not to be too strong. Because when you hook someone, they don't want you to just like one shot like Roadhog does, which I
yeah.
kind of get that. His gun
But it's
felt
at the same time, it's
okay.
like Barbados.
Honestly, I feel like Barbatos, my fix to him, and I think other people might find this drastic, but I really don't think it is. I would just remove some health off that character. Like if you compare him to Zaku, Zaku has 800 health and 3 dashes.
Well,
Barbatos
he kind of
has a
needs the
thousand.
HP to get in though, because he's
Mm,
strictly melee. But I feel like it would be better if they just kind of didn't do the right click and then just upped his left click damage, force him just to get in
yeah.
there and constantly swing on people.
I do think this is going to make Marisai a lot better, and I don't know though. I feel like maybe it would just be better to
It's kind of
choose a
hard to
character that
see
does
if it
more
just makes him
damage.
better for it actually counters Barbados.
I don't know. Marisai is such a slow like unit. I feel like maybe you could get it off if you can see him coming. But a good Barbatos, they really know how to get you in the sky where they're not paying attention and stuff like that. So
Hmm.
this is going to be a hard one. I don't know if Marisai is going to be that much better, but I will know that he's not going to feel as terrible. Like his hook felt
Yeah, he's gonna feel
useless.
like he has all of his abilities.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw out the hook and actually hit some stuff, and people aren't just gonna use their shield and dash away from me and laugh
Yeah,
while doing it. So this is a great
yeah.
change, and I'm really happy about it. And last up, of course, we have GM Sniper. They're not really showing us anything here, but essentially what this is saying, he makes headshots a little too easy. The hitbox, I guess, on the heads were just a little too easy to hit, and
Hmm.
they recognize that, and they are trying to nerf that. And that's basically all they're saying. And I agree. I thought that GM
One
Sniper
hundred
was
percent.
very easy to hit headshots with, and as you know, pretty much just one shotted. I think it one shot just about everybody, right? Was
It was
there
just too easy.
was Sazabi the only one with 1400 health that didn't one shot?
Maybe.
I don't remember because Sazabi also had a shield, so most of the time he would just be blocking. I didn't play sniper as much as I wanted to, but I know that sniper when I did play him, it felt unreal, right? Like some maps were so heavy in sniper's favor, it was
Yeah.
crazy to
Oh,
not pick him.
absolutely.
But that was also what made it so fun, right? Because he was
Yeah.
terrible on different sections of the map. Really good,
Just
but
wish I it's fine if it's good. I just wish it wasn't mandatory, you know?
it did feel that way.
Because it feels like some maps, it's like you are like that one. I forget what it's called, but it's the one that starts off with the giant bridge. Like
Oh
you are
yeah,
throwing if you don't have a
yeah.
sniper on that map.
There was also the one that
Either
was
side.
a really big high ground up in the open on like earth and mountains and kind of thing, and they had a big jump pad area up there. I liked
Yeah.
going up there. That was insane. But also, it's good on defense and offense. Like you could do it both on that map. It's very heavy in sniper's favor. Making it harder to headshot is great. Although I feel like in this game, body shotting is so easy too, because the hitboxes on some Gundams are massive. It was so
Mm.
Dom Trooper, Sazabi, Marisai. Some of these guys are so big. You could just three-shot body shot them realistically if you really wanted to. So I think even if you nerf, I think it's a good thing to nerf the head hitbox. But at the end of the day, I think you could just body shot at sniper and have good value. Like he's that strong.
Yeah.
Like, what's a Dom Trooper gonna do? You're just gonna sit there and you're just gonna keep body shotting him.
Slide into a headshot.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to hit them. All around, I love the communication all around
The
from these guys.
transparency is fantastic.
It's
Even
amazing.
to the point of talking about like there's too large of a disparity between the first and second win percentage. The fact that they're even mentioning that rather than just purely giving us this is what we're gonna do. It really is great because it lets us in on their thought process and helps us like think about where they're actually going to go with other Gundams as well.
I think that's about all we have to say. Just a very short, fast video about that. We were all very excited about it. And next video, we'll go ahead and get into the details and talk about all of this juicy stuff we got with the survey report, which is going to be a lot of fun. But until then, guys, I think that's going to be it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and see you next time.
See you next time.